recently, if you saw in the news, Cordoba sold Guild. They had purchased Guild from FMIC, and now they've sold it off. Right? I think that's my understanding, right? Somebody asked me, and just off the cuff, like, what do I think of that? And I said, I'm a fan of Guild guitars. However, Guild has been so many different brands to me. It's not like I'm going to say, like, this was the good years, these are the bad years. It's just they were different brands. I can think of a ton of brands like that. BC Rich is different brands to me. The brand under Bernie Rico, the brand under, the next company, the brand under the next company, the brand, I think it's like 4 companies now, I think, is about one BC Rich. Definitely 3, right? I think Zoltar, so I'm probably messing up his name. I'm pretty sure it's Zoltar Bar. I'm a fan of Five Finger Death Punch, but I know I'm messing up his name. But I'm pretty sure Zoltar owns BC Rich now, is my understanding. And, and in all fairness, in BC Rich, Bill, who runs BC Rich, I think currently ran it before when it was with, I think it was with Davin Hanser before. And again, I'm doing this off of memory, so if there's any inconsistency, it's not like I researched this to make this video. But my point is different iterations of the company. So sometimes you talk to a company and they're telling you something, or they put out some jargon or some marketing stuff, and you realize, like, this isn't even the same company. It just has the same names. It owns all the properties, intellectual properties, but it's not the same company. This industry is riddled with that. There's a ton of companies that are not the same because they've been changing over the years. And again, not to say that they've gone from bad or good to bad or bad to good, but also another thing is, there's different, like I said, people at the helm of the ship. So things are totally scrapped and forgotten. And then a new group of people come in to run the company, and they don't even know about the old things. My story that would be like Scott Grove's was when I was a Fender custom shop dealer. I love 7-strings, but I'm not a gent guy, so I don't want a 7-string to chugga. I just want a 7-string to actually thump it with my thumb. If some of you guys, I have some videos where you see that. I kind of, just kind of like to thump the low string. It just kind of works for me rhythmically, like a 5-string bass. And so I wanted a Strat. I wanted a 7-string Strat really, really bad. And so I go, well, it's one of those things where it hits you one day, like, I'm a custom shop Fender dealer. I'll call the custom shop. I'm going to do this. I'm going to order a custom shop Fender Strat for me 7-string. And I called up Fender Custom Shop. I'll never forget this. And I said, hey, I want to order a Fender Custom Shop 7-string. And they said, well, we don't make one. I said, well, let's make one. Let's do it. Right? I'm here. I'm going to buy it. Let's do it. And they said, let me get back to you. And they got back to me. I don't remember if it was hours or days. I'm pretty sure it was a few hours later. And they said, Phil, here's the problem. We've never made a 7-string Strat. And so we don't, we talked to the guys and they can't do it. I said, you never made a 7-string Strat. Literally, you invented the solid body 7-string guitar with the guy Maestro. And like a couple years prior to Steve Vai coming out with the 7-string with Ibanez. And I go, so, I mean, you made it. You're the first company to ever make a solid body electric 7-string. Right? Right? I think they made like 6 or 7 of them. And I think Maestro got them all, right? Obviously. And again, something else you guys can Google while I'm talking, type in the Maestro and Fender 7-string, and it's going to come up. There's ads, very Yngwie-esque type ads, looking ads where he was holding his 7-string Strat. And they had no idea what I was talking about. And I'm like, and I'm pretty sure they had the patent or something on it too. I think at the time, I even Googled it and checked and found the patent that they had. And I'm like, not only you guys can do it, you did it first. And they didn't know. No one knew there because here's what happened. No one that I was talking to, and I mean no one, had been there even close to the mid 80s when that came out. So it's, even though I'm talking to Fender, I'm really not talking to Fender. It's not like, when you're talking to somebody who's owned the company since the first day or is involved in the company since the first day. If you enjoyed this podcast clip, you can watch the entire episode by clicking the link in the description or streaming it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. You can also join it live every week, Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I hope to see you there. Until next time, know your gear.